And let me begin with a truth as ancient as life itself. Everything is designed. Nothing came by accident. And we can argue this later. But for the sake of this conversation, we will assume that all the systems that we live in are designed. Nothing that governs our world, not religion, not law, not politics, not economy, not nature itself, with its immutable laws of conservation, transfer, and expansion of energy, not the code that runs our machines, arose by accidents. Each was imagined, structured, and implemented by someone, somewhere, with an intent to survive, to organize, to control, to expand. From the first tribal hierarchies to today's digital algorithms, systems are framework laid over the chaos of existence. This holds true not only for human constructs, but also for the fundamental systems of nature itself. The delicate balance of ecosystems, the intricate dance of predator and prey, the cyclical flow of energy from sun to plant to animal, the systems of reproduction that ensures life propagates from ancient times until now. Even the very interactions of animals, mammals, and insects, and people, and weather in nature are design systems. In the mammalian world, in the world of animals and insects, their feeding, their migration, their survival, all of these systems are governed by deep inherent designs. At first, human systems served our needs: food, safety, connection, reproduction, cooperation. But as they grew, they transformed. They became tools of power, tools of control. Systems arise from necessity. Human invents systems to solve problems: survival, efficiency, communication, reproduction, safety. But systems are also built for power. Beyond survival, systems help. Some gain, manage, or preserve control, especially over energy, labor, and other human beings. Everything is energy in our life. Objects, labor, reproduction, technology, all are manifestations of energy expenditure. Systems optimize or dominate this flow of energy. Adoption equals influence. The more people accept a system, the more power the system creators have. Mass adoption equals amplification of energy and control. Throughout history, certain principles of control reappear in nearly every empire. Throughout the times, for example, divide et impera, divide et impera, from Latin, divide and conquer. Fragment the population to prevent unity. Fragment your enemy to make sure they become weaker. Make sure there is no peace in between of your enemies. They keep fighting while you become stronger. Today, it can be identity politics, class division, digital echo chambers. The other principle would be panem et circenses, bread and circuses. Distract the masses with comfort and spectacle. Today, consumerism, endless scrolling, curated distractions, and there are many more. Shock and awe. Use public fear and violence to maintain control. Today, militarized policing, surveillance, media-fueled terror, and other type of media campaigns. The other principle would be false choice. Simulate freedom with limited options. Simulate freedom of choice. Today, it could be two-party systems, rigged markets, and other things. Maybe you will give me more examples. Moral framing, the other system. Justify domination through narratives of virtue. In the today equivalent, it would be humanitarian wars, religious exceptionalism. Exceptionalism of one way of life over another. The other systems would be control of distribution. That's a very old systematic principle. Own the pipelines of goods, resources, and labor. Today, it's global shipping, energy monopolies, banking networks. And you can think further about owning the production and harvesting of energy. The other would be symbolic authority. Channel mythical or national power to legalize rule. In today equivalent and past equivalent, it could be flags, anthems, presidential personas, royal imagery. Yet, these patterns aren't just human. In nature, the spider builds a web to centralize its catch. The ant colony organizes its labor around roles that harvest, protect, and reproduce. The lion pride guards territory, ensuring access to food, water, and legacy. All are systems. All are built to harvest, concentrate, and convert energy into propagation. The human beings are themselves the points of energy. We are created through energy exchange. Even love and fear, the most ancient of emotions, play their role in the design of systems. Love leads us to build families, communities, support networks. Fear pushes us to secure borders, build weapons, defend identity. These emotions, encoded into the structure of all living things, are the hidden engines of civilization. Every system ever built runs on these balances. Are we building to empower, or are we building to dominate? Are we expanding the soul, or enclosing it? Even now, as we dream of interplanetary future, we must ask, what kind of systems are we exporting? What kind of systems are we designing? What kind of systems are we building? What kind of systems do we have in mind, and for what reason? Are we taking with us the old blueprints, the same structures of conquest and control? Or are we designing something truly new? Systems that harmonize humans, animals, technology, AI, nature, and whatever unknown forms of life may greet us in the stars. Because remember, systems are not neutral. They carry the ethics of their creators. They embed bias, desire, fear, love. And when adopted at scale, they become realities. Systems become thoughts, thoughts become beliefs, beliefs become actions, and actions become everyday culture. Look back. We see the same ancient strategies still alive today. We mentioned divide and conquer, bread and circuses, false choices, moral framing, control of distribution, symbolic authority. New names, same architecture. Today we call them identity politics, surveillance capitalism, media control, global finance, and there are other names. but they are still the same. They are still the same. It's time to wake up, to realize we are not only subjects of systems, we are designers. And design matters. We must build systems of care, not just systems of control. Systems that nourish self-actualization, and don't nourish obedience on a mass scale, where the unit of value is not just labor, not just money or power or GDP or your pension fund, but life itself, connection, feeling, love, emotion. Or maybe if you still believe in freedom of some type, the freedom. Because the greatest illusion is this: your vote is your power. Nope. Your energy is your power. What you create is your power. What you consume, what you love, what you do on a daily basis, what you protect. We are at the turning point, not just of technology or economy or the global shift of power between global West and global South, but of consciousness itself. To live with open eyes is to understand. We are energy. We are life expanding. We are love trying to understand itself. And the systems we build next will decide whether we become a planetary virus or a galactic symphony. This is the beginning of LODEI philosophical thoughts and conversations. And let us begin not only to question the systems that we live in and design, but to imagine the systems of the future.